Laurentians line the parking lot at 9th and New Hampshire Saturday morning for the first chance to buy from their favorite vendors this year.
I think people come to the farmers market to buy fresh and good quality merchandise.
Vendors at the market say price stability is a big reason people keep coming back for more.
The nice thing about buying local stuff is that our prices are pretty set. Like, we're not going to raise our prices tremendously if the price of gasoline goes up, say, because we don't really use gasoline on our farm. Like, I drive to the market, but that doesn't matter.
Lawrence Farmers Market manager Anaskina Dora says its sense of community brings people together.
A lot of people here, know everyone. It's very much a sense of community here. I think another thing is the variety of products we offer. We offer a lot of things that you wouldn't normally see at a farmer's market.
That community feeling means vendors think more shoppers at the market is better for everyone, regardless who they spend their money with.
What we want is to bring more people here, and people who might go to a big chain store who might not even be locally owned. Rather than that, they can bring their keep their resources local and support local farms.
For KUJH News, this is Sean Tokarz.
Welcome back.
Haskell students celebrated a week of service and Earth Day activities. KUJH's Sean Tokarz was with Good Morning Indian Country's Alyssa Noriega to ask students what protecting Mother Earth meant to them.
Last night, an audience gathered in Haskell Auditorium to hear the story of a young Mohawk warrior, told in her own words. Director Tracy Deer's film Beans centers on her early life during the Oka crisis. It highlights the role of women in Native American storytelling.
So women are really the carriers of our culture. We're the culture keepers. So it's been really important to see Natives behind the film, especially women.
Native women didn't just play a big role in making the film. They led the resistance in the real-life events that inspired the story.
It's a film featuring women, by a Native woman who was there during the Oka crisis. So I think it's really powerful for people to be able to tell their own stories and not sugarcoat it. Like this film was very real.
The film used news stories from the events to weave a story that's both emotional and informational.
I liked it. It was a really good film. A couple of parts definitely had me tearing up there. With some of that live footage, and especially the parts with the kids in the car. That's a real thing for a lot of Indigenous people.
If you missed the film screening, you can still catch more events this weekend.
Martha Redbone is performing Bone Hill. She's an Afro-Indigenous artist and is part of the Indigenous Arts Initiative as well. So she's performing at the Lead Center at 7:30 on Friday. And then the Powwow and Indigenous Cultures Festival will be at the Lead Center from noon to 8 p.m. all day long. Activities, powwows, arts and craft events, educational opportunities, just very, very busy day. So come out.
This is Sean Tokarz for KUJH News. Back to you, Belle and Catherine.
Welcome back. Yesterday, dozens of KU students gathered outside of Strong Hall for a protest organized by the Sunrise Movement, calling for greater sustainability actions from the university. President of the movement, Joel Campbell, spoke out during the protest, demanding a change on campus.
No more waiting, no more forms. Put recycling in our doors. No more waiting.
KU has allowed the Center for Sustainability to crumble. We've watched as their website has removed information over time. They have gotten rid of those positions over time. Over the past 2 years, they have defunded or not replaced positions that were vacated. Even outside of sustainability, KU could be investing in their faculty, who are currently trying to unionize in one of the worst-run universities in the area, according to them. They could reinstate the Pell Advantage grant that allows many students to come to KU without worrying about their lifelong student loans. They could clean up our old buildings or buy technology for the places that need it, or otherwise just fix up a campus that is falling apart. Instead, we get empty welcome centers on the edge of campus, stadium improvements for a sports team that has been relevant once in the past decade, and a chancellor who gets paid a six-figure salary to ignore the problems on his doorstep.
The protest comes after years of frustration from students who feel like their voices aren't being heard. They're calling for KU to fully fund the Center for Sustainability and promote transparency in its sustainability and budgeting efforts. The university has yet to respond to the demands of the protests, but the students are hopeful that their voices will be heard, that KU will take meaningful steps towards a more sustainable future.
Last Saturday, Haskell Indian Nation held its annual community celebration to honor the Wakarusa wetlands.
The celebration of the wetlands was held in partnership with the Lawrence Public Library. Michelle Jamela attended the event to find out more.
That's right, Sam. In honor of Earth Day, the Lawrence community came together for the first weekend to honor the Wakarusa wetlands. The area is home to a variety of plants and animal species, but also indigenous history.
It's a very sacred space as well to indigenous peoples. There's a lot of history in this, so we're really learning how to connect more to Maya, which is our word for the earth. So I'm really excited to be out here celebrating the earth with everyone on Earth Day as well. It's been really wonderful.
The celebration featured authors, artists, poets, and performers who shared what the environment means to them.
I was very happy to be invited back this year as a performer. I thought it was a really, really great event, just like last year, bringing a lot of different voices together to honor this place and to educate others about what the wetlands means to people.
In addition to connecting with the earth, the celebration helped the community connect with each other.
Bring the community out to meet some incredible, creative people that have connections to this place, to the land, to the natural world, especially to Haskell and the wetland.
The celebration reminded one listener of how much their area and the world means to them.
I think that moments like this should be celebrated, and we don't oftentimes think about the natural world as also being like a sister or a brother or a relative.
Watkins hopes that all can visit the wetlands at some point.
I would say that if you are not regularly making time to come and to see the wetland, you should, because it's remarkable, and the impact that it will have on your mind and your body is undeniable.
The wetlands are open to the public and can be visited behind Haskell Indian Nation University. Back to you guys at the studio.
You can find more information on the Wakarusa wetlands at usanpn.org/Wakarusa Trail.
Lawrence celebrated Earth Day this past weekend with their annual Earth Day Fest.
The fest was held in the historical South Park on Massachusetts Street and had a huge turnout.
Lawrence celebrated Earth Day this past weekend with their annual Earth Day Fest. Over 20 local organizations came out to educate and promote their love for the earth with hands-on activities, free gear, and even prizes.
Valley Camp is a wonderful 40-acre urban habitat right in the middle of the Lawrence city limits, and it predominantly exists to serve Girl Scouts.
Patrons shared their favorite local outdoor spots and activities just in time for summer.
Well, close to campus or on campus, I really like Potter Lake. And then I also really like going to the KU field station just north of Lawrence. They've got a lot of trails there that anybody can go to. And then I also really like Clinton Lake.
If you missed the Earth Day Fest in Lawrence this year, you can still contribute locally through KU Environs. This has been Catherine Galliani for KUJ.
Thanks, Catherine.
Yeah, we're glad there was such a great turnout this year.
The 41st annual Clinton Lake cleanup took place last Saturday on Earth Day. The goal was to pick up as much trash as possible while also spreading awareness about the importance of keeping the lake clean every day, not just on Earth Day. KUJH's Gus Balow was there with more.
The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers hosted their annual Clinton cleanup this past weekend, with their primary goal being to spread awareness about being watchful for trash when going through the surrounding parks.
It's just really important to continue on the tradition of encouraging our community members to pick up trash and leave no trace when they're out and about in our parks.
Even though the cleanup is just one day of the calendar year, the impact of the cleanup remains important long after Earth Day, with the hope being to get the message of keeping the lake clean out to many people as possible throughout Lawrence.
The most important part is education and raising awareness and getting people here and getting a good turnout and getting people to think about the plight of our reservoir and the streams and rivers that run into that reservoir, right?
While this is only one event, the organization hopes to continue to educate people on this important cause by hosting more events in the coming months.
We do something different every holiday, so I'm planning a ranger-led hike for every holiday, and we have things like astronomy night and pollinator week this summer, so definitely keep an eye out for those.
Reporting for KUJH News, I'm Gus Balow.